All right, what's up, guys? Hey, it's Steve Herman here. Here to talk about some wrestling today. A little quick recap, trying to catch up. I'm part of the Smart Show, but we have not done that show, I would say, 2 weeks now because some of my friends aren't too happy with the product. And, I'll stick through it without, even though I'm not a fan of some of the guys that are being pushed, like Roman Reigns. But, that's what it is. Yeah, so I missed, there was a lot to talk about. The past couple Raws with the debuts of guys like Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, freaking Enzo Cass, the Vaudevillains, Bullet Club, AJ Styles is number one contender. It's really crazy, to be honest with you. Very excited. I'm shocked that fatal four way with Cesaro, that return, really crazy. Honestly, I know that was 2 weeks ago, but I just had to get that out. Probably the his entrance compared to him stripping down to his like wrestling gear compared to The Rock, that was on point in my opinion. I thought it was absolutely incredible. Phenomenal match, by the way. No pun intended there. Yeah, AJ Styles got the huge win on Jericho after suffering the bad loss at Mania. So we'll see what happens with that Styles Reigns match, which is announced for Payback. Uh, I got a feeling it's just going to be Daniel Bryan 2.0 from 2015 at Fastlane, where Styles just puts him over. And I don't get it. The man gets booed out. It's not even just like the smart crowds anymore. He gets booed out of every building. And pretty much all his Roman Reigns' fans are the little kids, and not even little kids. Some little kids like Ambrose, and I've seen videos of people get mad that Reigns lost, like little kids. So I don't know what that's all about. Um, yeah, I don't know. What else do I want to talk about? Shane McMahon's apparently running Raw, so what was the point of that match between Taker and Shane? I have no idea. Yeah, Taker. I mean, Shane got to run the night after Raw, which was cool. Was a great episode, and then this week's episode I thought was better than last week's episode. I mean, we saw AJ Styles fight Sami Zayn, and all I can say is, holy crap! That is a wrestling match, and if you're a diehard wrestling fan like me, and I know people who listen to this are diehard fans because they love listen to the podcast, that match was awesome. For a Raw, that Raw show was probably one of the best consistent good shows I've seen in quite some time. It made me think like NXT. Like everything was on point. Every match had a meaning to it. You had the tag team tournament for the titles for the New Day. You had Owens and Cesaro, and I love the role Owens is getting. It feels like he's gonna get pushed even higher with like just the back and forth with him and Shane. It looks really interesting, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to what they got plans for Owens. I feel I was talking to a couple of my buddies on Twitter. I feel like it's money in the bank or bust for him this year, and I think he needs to have it. In my opinion, if he doesn't, I think it's a goddamn shame. And yeah, that match started off the show after Owens and Shane bickered, and it was between Owens and Cesaro to be a number one contender for the Miz's title at Payback, and Cesaro won. It was an awesome match. They had a great feud in the summer between those two guys in the SummerSlam. Just awesome match. Great way to start the show to get you guys pumped up. Cesaro fan favorite for everybody. So Cesaro section showed that new shirt off. Loved it. Great match. Can't I mean no complaints here. Then what else happened? You had Charlotte and Natty. Awesome match. Great that they're pushing the women's championship, and I love the presentation of the title. We never even talked about that. They got thank God they got rid of that crap butterfly title, Divas title, whatever you want to call it. Now they're gonna be called women wrestlers, whatever, superstars, I guess. So that's good. Um, yeah, that match was good. The finish was weird because Flair was distracting, and the ref clearly saw Natty tap out, but said a disqualification. So awkward finish, but overall that match was good. I don't know what they're doing with Sasha Banks. I feel that should be the feud right now, honestly, but I guess we're not getting that. I don't know what they're doing with Sasha. That's the only thing I have for a question is why they're not pushing Sasha then. And Kevin Owens is getting treated unfairly. I'm just kidding. But oh, then you have well, I forgot to mention the other good point about Sami Zayn and AJ Styles was it was a number one contendership uh if Sammy beat AJ, he was gonna make it a triple threat match with him and Roman. And I swear to God, if this week on Raw, if Roman says, "I'm not the good guy, I'm not the bad guy, I'm the guy," I'm like, I don't care at all what you say. Like he doesn't have one good line. The fans don't. He hasn't gotten better. He hasn't gotten better in the ring. He's actually regressed in the ring. And yeah, honestly, like he's just wrong all the other reasons. Another segment I really liked: Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho. Well, first off, it was Jericho's highlight reel, and then Ambrose comes out with a poster board and like one flower, and he says it's Shane. Shane gave him the clearance to have his own show, and it's called the Ambrose Asylum. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I thought this was a good back and forth segment with him and Jericho starting up their feud. And now it's starting to make sense to me why Jericho beat AJ. It's still stupid. I think I still would have said stupid if AJ wasn't in the title picture, world title picture. But with that said, what you call it, Jericho and Ambrose, you know, I just love the back and forth. Jericho saying he'll bury Ambrose, which like for smart fans like me, we know what he's talking about. But little kids like, what is he talking about? I don't get that. Like actually burying him, you know. So it looks like they're gonna have a little program here. I don't know how long Jericho's gonna be here till, because and if he doesn't put Ambrose over, that's just a shame on the company because Ambrose should be the top face of the company. Him or AJ Styles, in my opinion, or Cesaro. Those three guys could be your top faces. And there's so many more we talked about before on my other podcast, the Smart Show. I want to subscribe to that too and subscribe to my channel too. Uh, yeah, I mean, that was great. The New Day, uh, they introduced the tag team tournament. I think the Dudleys fought. Who did they fight? Damn it. Oh, Lucha Dragons and Kalisto was hurt. I think that was just a storyline to make him look strong because of the U.S. Championship, which makes sense. And he needs to drop that title soon because that he's making that title relevant. No offense, I like Kalisto, but don't know what they're doing with him. Don't know what they're doing with the U.S. title. John Cena should have that title whenever he comes back because he made that title meaningful and it was fun to watch with open challenges, especially when the crappy Raws in late fall. He made the shows look forward to because the U.S. Challenge was always something bright and fun. Also, Apollo Crews fought Adam Rose in probably the most lackluster match of the night, but you know it was what it was, and it was fun. Can't complain. Uh, I'm still I never gave my thoughts on Crews. Um, when he got called up, I was a little shocked. None of the other guys I wasn't, like Vaudevillains, Enzo, Cass, and Corbin. I thought they were ready. Corbin could have stayed down longer, but he was ready. Cruz needed time down there still. He still need to work on his promos. Still fight. Get a following, and he doesn't really have a following yet. And I thought he was definitely going to be in primed position to get the NXT title. Maybe in the later comes of the end of 2016, but obviously I'm wrong. And they're just going to go, I think, the Neville gimmick here and just let him have good matches, which I think is wrong because I think Paulo Cruz, man, he could be a special talent. He's only 28 years old, and we'll have to see what happens with him. What else happened? Oh, the big news of the night, another debut of the Bullet Club, the returning Luke Gallows, but he's bringing back a good old friend, Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Holy crap, man! I remember I was watching this actually here this time last week, and dude, I was going nuts when he came. Well, I was just like, it was the Usos and Social Outcast. I'm like, oh god, Usos, can't stand them. And then all of a sudden, I thought there was like some fans that were attacking him. Like that would be stupid. That would not happen. And then you see Gallows, and some fans didn't know who they were at first, and then by the end, they were going nuts. They were chanting Bullet Club, and fans were marking out. I was marking out. Internet exploded. And now, what does this mean? And you know, I really got this outsiders esque. I remember I was tweeting it out that night. I'm like, this reminds me of Hall and Nash. Who's going to be the third guy? And it's yeah, I mean, and look who they attacked. They attacked the Usos. Who are the cousins with the Usos? Roman Reigns. Who's fighting Roman Reigns? AJ Styles. Could we see something similar to Payback? I doubt it, but there's something involved with Gallows and Anderson. They're not just gonna be here for a tag team. They will, but there's more to it. And I don't know. I mean, I for some reason I always think there's going to be a brand split now. I wonder if Shane's going to be back. I know it's going to be taped because they are in the London tour or European tour right now, currently as we speak. They just went to Leeds, but they were in Dubai and Amsterdam. There's two different touring squads, and there was like, but I saw Shane's going to be on SmackDown this week, but I don't know what's going on with Raw. So yeah, I might not. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Raw this week. Hopefully it's good. So the confirmed match is like, well, there's only two confirmed matches so far. It's Cesaro and Miz. I swear to God, I have a horrible feeling Cesaro is going to lose because Miz is just going to get the distraction by Maurice. But I think that's stupid. I think Cesaro needs this. Cesaro deserves this. He deserves to be pushed higher. Cesaro is one of the most talented wrestlers they have. There's so many talented wrestlers in this roster, but Cesaro really deserves this moment. I don't think he's going to get it yet, but we'll have to see. Probably make predictions in a couple weeks from now. It'll be coming up May 1st, Payback. So we'll have to check that out. What else? Cesaro and The Miz. Plus, Roman. Yeah, Roman comes out, gets booed out of the building again. No surprise there. Can't stand Roman. I'm just disappointed at this point. I remember watching Mania. I'll be honest. I was drunk as hell for that main event. Thank God I don't remember anything because from that main event because I didn't care. 27 minutes of bullshit, in my opinion. Pretty much Cena and Triple H from WrestleMania 22. But you know what? Cena was the more talented, and he can cut a promo. And both guys couldn't wrestle at the time either at their peaks. When Cena 22, he wasn't the best wrestler in the world. I knew he wasn't. And Roman, he's just terrible. I don't get it, but leave that for another day. Roman comes out, then the Wasted Nations comes out, like the two worst acts in the company right now on the main roster, male talents wise at least. And you hear Wasted Nations just talking, and I don't even know what they're talking about. Like up until this point, I remember watching Raw. It felt like a good old school episode of Raw. Like there was something intense about it. You just wanted to see what happened, what was going to happen next. Then Roman comes out and feels like John Cena 2010. Nobody wants to watch this garbage, you know. And then Wasted Nations comes out. They come out and attack them. And then the surprise, one of the surprises of the night, Wyatt family come out and they help Roman. I couldn't believe it because probably this time 6 months ago, there was the hashtag anybody but you, Roman, and Bray and him had the Hell in the Cell match, and now they're gonna work as a tag team. Shane comes out like Teddy Long style, tag team, tag team match players. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, I'll go to the main event right now. So you had Roman and Bray versus Wasted Nations. That's how I call them. They're breaking them up soon, thank God. And it's a shame because Sheamus. I liked him like 4 years ago, but can't stand him anymore. He's just stale to me. Del Rio, I liked him when he came back this year, but they haven't really given him a good gimmick, and I feel not gimmick, good storyline. He can be a top guy and not top like good top heel, and they need top heels right now. Kevin Owens is the top heel in this company, in my opinion. And well, Roman it should be, but it's technically Owens. Um, and Rusev, I love Rusev. He came out of tank. I always remember that. WrestleMania 31, my favorite WrestleMania that I've watched. Um, WrestleMania 32 is the worst one I've watched. If you want to know that, it's some of the worst booking decisions I've ever seen in my life. It was just a big compile of shit. Some of the matches were good, but yeah, I'll talk about that another time. More now, but yeah. Um, what else happened? Yeah, so Bray and Roman win. Bray hits the Stravagale on Del Rio. Roman hits Sheamus with the spear. Del Rio gets the win. I mean, Wyatt gets the win. My apologies. And then Wyatt and them stare down, and that pretty much ends the show. Which I had a question, like not question, like just like where's Styles? Like you have to keep building this feud. Like they didn't even see each other all night. Then they did something on SmackDown, and Roman was acting like a heel again, and he was belittling him. Or that might have been the week prior. I'm not sure. That was the week prior. My fault. So they haven't done anything this week with him and Styles. So I don't know what's going on with that situation. Might be the touring schedules. They might be in two different spots. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Yeah, I really don't. I don't know how I feel about Reigns and Styles. Happy for Styles. Styles is one of my favorites. As you'll be go, the typical internet. Well, you know what? The guy freaking deserves this moment. He deserves the main event of pay per view. This guy is one of the most. I gotta say it again. One of the most talented wrestlers. But one of my dream matches when he gets back from injury, if we see Styles versus Rollins, that'll be one of the greatest matches you will ever see in your life. It will be a damn treat. Um, NXT Takeover Dallas. Can I just say, I know this happened 2 weeks ago now, but holy fucking shit, dude! What a show! Phenomenal. Um, my match of the year right now is Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. That whole show was unbelievable. You saw appearances by Kota Ibushi and Bobby Roode, and Scott Hall and X Pac were there for that match, and it was just very star-studded. It was such a great, respected match. You know, just because Sammy was leaving, it made me feel like Cena Punk from 11, just because he was leaving, and Punk was technically leaving at the time, but he came back, and Sammy's leaving NXT to go to the main roster. It was just a nice send off for him. He deserved it. He is the face of NXT for the male competitors, and Bailey is the face of the NXT women's uh, roster as well. And it was just Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance, his whole thing, attire, and his movements. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful match, nice and physical, great grappling. It had everything you wanted as a wrestling fan, and I just really appreciated both their efforts. And it was a beautiful match. Right man won. Shinsuke did. Sammy put him over. It was beautiful. Baylor and Joe, oh my God, fantastic. You know, Baylor and Joe, it had like the feels like a Texas death match. 30 seconds in, Joe's cut open. The only thing I ruined that match was the damn doctors. And I understand you have to take care of your wrestlers. But if he says he's fine, he's fine. But I understand he's keep bleeding. But, you know, it's Samoa Joe. Joe kills people. Not literally, but It, I was actually shocked at this match, to be honest with you. The last two matches shocked me. I really thought Joe was going to beat Balor. I don't know when Balor's getting called up, but Balor will be called up soon. He has to. It might, if you don't know already, Finn Balor is my favorite wrestler on the main roster right now, or NXT combined. I think the man is an incredible performer. The man I think he has the it factor. He's the guy you should build on your company as the top guy, not someone like Roman Reigns. He actually can wrestle, he can actually talk, and he has a great attire, and he has a great character, and he can keep changing his character. And Roman can't change his character because he just stays the same stagnant character. So, yeah, but Balor and Joe, unbelievable. Um, Bailey and Asuka, wow, what a match! It was good, very good. It wasn't Bailey Sasha from Brooklyn, but it was. Yeah, you can't complain with these women's matches. And pretty much, you treat these women's matches like men's matches now because they always deliver. They're always great, and I was honestly shocked. Like not Taker shocked, but you could tell from the crowd, people were upset and shocked that Asuka actually made Bailey tap out. Well, unconscious, she didn't answer, and she KO'd Bailey, and Asuka won, and she is our new NXT Women's Champion. Surprisingly not. And I mean, it was a shocker, but she deserves it. Asuka's a great competitor, and it begs to differ. I mean, I was surprised that Bailey didn't debut on Raw or Samoa Joe, so we'll have to see what Bailey probably will get a rematch at the next Takeover, which is I just found out June 8th, at Full Sail. So we'll have to see what happens with that. That should be really fun. All the takeovers are great. Can't wait for that. So we'll have to see what they're gonna do in that situation with Bailey and Asuka. Maybe they'll get the main event of another pay per view, get another women's match to headline a takeover, which is most deserved. They'll put on a hell of a match. Um, American Alpha, baby, beating the Revival for the tag titles. What a way to open up the show. Oh man, these guys were so freaking over. I remember me and my friends, I had like three of my buddies over. American Alpha's so over. And they need to bring Kurt Angle back. You could have such a good program with that, calling up Gable and Jordan, being his lackeys, and Angle, they'll be faces because Angle's gonna come back. He's gonna get a face pop. They don't want him to be a heel. He's someone like Taker who's just not gonna get booed anymore because they respect the guy so much. Kurt Angle is such a respected competitor in the wrestling world and by his compadres and all that. He's such an excellent performer, and we'll have to see when he'll come back. I would assume Angle and Jeff Hardy will be back someday. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura debuted, and we saw Bobby Roode and Cody Ibushi and Prince Puma supposedly coming to WWE, and Zack Sabre Jr. and this global cruiserweight division is getting crazy. We're finding out the qualifiers from Evolve and Revolution Pro Wrestling. I mean, it's getting crazy. Like, we are getting guys that are it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, and for NXT main roster, we'll see. Last two episodes were great. There's a lot, and it's a shame because there's so many guys on the roster that I love. I love Kevin Owens. I love Sami Zayn. I love Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. You name it. It's just their decision making is just terrible. They always put on good matches. I never deny that. But this WrestleMania proved it to me. Their decision making is terrible. Like, it's AJ Styles' first WrestleMania, and I guess I shouldn't be shocked after last year with 31 with Sting, but you'd think Styles would get that win, and he didn't at all, which I don't get it. Zack Ryder won, stupid. It was just for the moment. My friends liked it, but I'm like, he's not going to get a long reign with it. Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn should have won, and people don't get logic booking. Charlotte, I can understand it, but I still think Sasha should have won, or Becky. Either one should have been new champ that night. Sasha got the big entrance. I thought it was her moment. It wasn't stupid. It's WrestleMania. That's what big moments are for WrestleMania. Guess they're gonna leave that for another time. Sasha deserves that title. She is amazing. I love Sasha. What else bad happened? Shane and Taker. Yeah, that was just a big mess up. I don't know what happened with that. Rock and Eric Rowan. I think he buried the Wyatts. So, and Wyatts' faces, I'm digging it right now. I am digging it, especially after last week's Raw. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how time tells how they're going to do. Baron. Oh, another thing, Baron Corbin. I love that vignette they had on Raw this week with him. I feel like he's going to have a feud with Cena like at some point by the end of the year. He's got a lot of potential, man. I'm a huge Corbin fan, and I know there's not people that like Corbin, but guy's got talent and a great first feud with him and Ziggler. Just like when Breeze came up, but I hope Breeze needs to be pushed better. That man is way too talented not to get pushed. Yeah, we'll have to see what they do with Baron Corbin. I'm very interested. I am very interested to see what they got to do with Corbin. Tag team tournament. I'm hoping it's either Enzo, Cass, or Vaudevillains. I'm very happy the way they've been pushing Vaudevillains on SmackDown. I mean, they've won their first two matches week by week now, so hopefully they keep that up. They'll fight the Usos next week, and Enzo and Cass fight the Dudleys. So that's gonna be fun. I mean, there's some dream matches for you. I'm gonna assume that Bullet Club. See, I don't know what Anderson and Gallagher are gonna do on Raw next week because they're gonna do something. Um, and Payback will be interesting because who knows if they interfere or so. Maybe there's a new guy. But I don't. I mean, I said it a billion times. Roman Reigns had a turn heel at WrestleMania or on Raw, and he didn't. And he's people say he's acting like a tweener. Yeah, but he hasn't changed that much, in my opinion. So we'll have to see what that happens in that situation. Other than that, NXT was fun, always fun. Takeover was the WrestleMania weekend was fun, and hopefully this upcoming pay per view Payback, we start getting momentum for the upcoming summer. We need a hot summer angle, and maybe that's Reigns heel turn, Orton return, Cena return, Rollins returns. You know, we're gonna have some summer storylines. Money in the Bank. If it's not Kevin Owens, I will freaking flip out. I don't know what else to say about that. Kevin Owens needs, in my opinion, Kevin Owens needs to be WWE champion by the end of the year or the beginning of 2017. And if he's not, I think that's a damn shame for the company because that man sells merch like a motherfucker. Unbelievable. Kevin Owens, fight. That's all I got to say with that. NXT. No Way Jose is debuting next week, so we'll have to see what happens with that guy. Yeah, they got a lot of talent out down there, man, and they just caught up a lot, so begs to differ if they're going to do the brand split because there's a lot of tag teams now. I would think there's almost 10 tag teams in this division. I mean, you got Bullet Club, you got the Usos, you got Dudleys, you got Enzo and Cass, you got the Vaudevillains, you got freaking the new Epico and Primo coming back, Social Outcast, Golden Truth. I mean, it is getting crazy up in here with the tag team division. It looks like it's getting real depth now. But it begs the difference. Maybe they'll do a brand split, but I don't know how that's going to work. Since they made the women's championship, you're not going to split the women up and not have some of the women fighting for nothing. That's kind of stupid. So, with that said, I'm just gonna leave it off here. I just wanted to catch up with the wrestling. I haven't talked about it in a while, and I just wanted to say it on my podcast. Well, this is my own channel, so if you want to subscribe to it, it's Steve Herman. You can actually follow me on Twitter at Stephen Herman 10 and at The Smart Show on Twitter. I do a lot of live tweeting on there. We got almost over 250 followers, so check it out. I do a lot of polls, and that's fun. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'll probably do this next week. This will probably be a weekly thing, just to get a nice little quick recap on things going on in wrestling. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. I will talk to you next week. Peace out.